This is the Mannin Line on location.
That's Dubai. Good afternoon. Welcome to Mannin Line on Manx Radio. We're live at QE2 with the students in year 13 today, so we'll be hearing what tomorrow's taxpayers have to say. Of course, they're all over 16, consequently all able to vote on the Isle of Man. Whether or not they vote in the local elections, we don't know, but they're certainly available and able to vote in the general election in 2026. So, for the next hour, the students of QE2 live on Mannin Line. Let's go first of all to Olivia, and I'm told, Olivia, you're going to be a midwife, is that right?
Yes, I'm studying biology and double PE at A-level, and I've done my applications to go to university for midwifery in September.
And whereabouts is that course?
So I've applied for Salford and Manchester, Leeds and York University as my top three.
Where did the ambition come from?
I did work experience up at the National Hospital for midwifery, and they were really good with me. They got me really involved throughout all the processes, and I was able to observe multiple C-sections, which was really good and really enhanced my enthusiasm for midwifery.
I mean, did you know you weren't frightened of blood?
Well, not at first. The first C-section was a bit wobbly, but then as it went on, I got better. And
what did you think when you saw the first C-section?
I just was amazed. I didn't really know what to expect. I thought I knew what was going to happen, watching things on TV and 24 Hours in A&E and things like that, but it was nothing like that. Being actually in the room was totally different.
How long is the course?
It's 3 years. It's either 3 or 4 years full time.
And then what will you do then?
So then I'd be looking into, you have to do a year in the UK working as a midwife in one of the hospitals straight after the course, just to gain experience to be able to then work by yourself as a midwife in one of the hospitals.
And is that, I mean, where did the ambition come from? As a child, as a teenager, was it there?
I just always was interested in a healthcare profession, and so I looked into loads of different opportunities and like directions I could go in.
Anybody in the family?
No. It was kind of just a decision one day.
Yeah, okay. And Tisha, your microbiology, is it you want to get into?
I'm going to university to study biomedical science, so I think it will be in the pathology lab, but microbiology is under that branch.
With a view to doing what as a career?
Hopefully to become a pathologist, but I'm also open to doing research and also possibly teaching as well.
Okay. STEM's really big in QE2, isn't it?
Yes, we have a really supportive science branch, and it's just really good to work there. They're really good with the resources and stuff, and the work is hard, but like they've never failed to let me down. So. Is
it practical or is it written stuff? What do you do?
We do both. So we do have in our course, because I do biology and chemistry, we have something called PAG, where we do practical stuff and we do like assessments based on that, but it's more theory, I'd say.
Okay. Did COVID affect you at all?
COVID affected me when I was in years 8 and 9, so like the work wasn't necessarily like it didn't affect me in later years, but it did, I wouldn't say it affected me, but I know it did affect many others.
Yeah, okay. And Grace, what are you looking to do in university?
I'm looking to study engineering.
Which sort?
Well, I'm not sure yet, so I applied to study general engineering because that kind of gives me experience in quite a lot of areas before I make my final decision.
And what curriculum at school leads you towards that?
Well, I'm currently studying physics, maths and product design, so they're all quite useful for engineering.
Right.
And I've just enjoyed science and maths since I was little, and I like building things, so...
Okay. And in terms of the support you get from school here, I mean, do they guide you? Do they advise you? What happens?
Well, I was initially unsure what course to apply for. I was looking to apply for physics, and I was really unsure, but I got quite a lot of help and support with making my decision, and the support of either decision that I would made.
Have you been to any universities on visits?
Well, we went on a school trip to the UK to visit a few universities, which was nice because we got to see a variety of them around. I went around the Northwest to see them, which was quite nice.
And do you think you'd be happy at the university in the Northwest? Different to Glenvine?
Yes. Well, I've only applied to one university in the Northwest.
Which one?
Lancaster.
Right.
Which is...
Aim for the top.
Yeah, which is sort of... It's in my top 3 unis. I'm not sure if that'll be my top choice. I'm undecided.
Okay. Molly, are you heading to university?
Well, I am, but I'm doing it at UCM on Ireland.
Oh, what course?
The Applied Social Science one.
Okay, which will lead you towards doing what, Molly?
Possibly social work or in the mental health industry.
Okay, and how come? Is that something you feel drawn towards?
Well, I did health and social care as an A-level, so I feel like that's opened my eyes a bit to like what the mental health crisis is, and I just want to work and like help people.
Right. And you think there is a crisis?
I think so, yeah, especially after like COVID,
yeah.
Like people locked in their houses due to the disease going around.
It's affected people in different ways, didn't it? We were talking last time at St Ninian's, and half of the students we spoke to enjoyed sitting at home doing it, and some, needed to get out and about.
Yeah, I feel like it was good being at home because like you got your work done quickly, but I feel like it had a lasting impact on some people. With the mental health part.
Okay. Jamie's here as well. You're heading to university, aren't you, Jamie?
Yeah, hopefully.
Which one?
I've applied to Uni of Manchester, Uni of Liverpool, and then John Moores is back up on my top 3. Okay,
with a view to studying what?
Law, hopefully.
Okay. Is that going to lead towards a career in law, do you think?
Yeah, ideally. I would like to be a lawyer. I think it would be an interesting career.
Anybody in the family an advocate at all?
To my knowledge, no.
Okay. What do they think of a career in law?
They've kind of just said, crack on with it if you want to. Yeah, they've just said if that's what you want to do, then try hardest. That's always what it's been like.
George is next to Jamie as well. You're staying on Ireland, aren't you, George?
Yeah, for a bit anyway.
Okay. What do you want to do?
Get a job, work.
Okay. Do you have a Saturday job at the moment? Do you have a weekend job?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I work at Barbary West Coast.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's good fun.
How do you feel? How do you like dealing with the public?
Depends who it is.
I mean, does the public ever surprise you?
No? Oh, definitely, all the time.
Yeah. How do you keep a straight face, and how do you keep a civil tongue sometimes?
Just remember that I'm getting paid for it, probably.
Yeah. What do you do there?
Just waiting on, and then working on the bar now as well.
Oh, of course, yes, you're old enough to work on the bar.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to basically get some money into your pocket after school, yeah?
Pretty much.
And you play soccer, you play football, don't you?
Football, yeah.
Who for?
Peel.
Peel?
Yeah.
The big team. How's the season going?
It's going well for the first team. They're doing well, top of the league.
And which position do you play?
Centre back.
Okay. And rugby as well?
Rugby for school, yeah.
Okay. There is a team for QE2, isn't there?
Yeah. The rugby season's finished now, though, so it's back into football again.
And what position did you play in rugby?
I played prop.
Okay. I'm not being unkind if I say you're built like a prop, aren't you?
Yeah, I'd say
Stop
so.
laughing, Jamie.
Yeah.
It
certainly helps.
Good. Okay. Belle's next to you as well. University for you, Belle?
Yes, University of Bristol is where I'd like to go, and it's English and film that I'd like to do.
Film?
Yeah.
With a view to doing what?
I'd like to be a screenwriter, but I'm not sure how I would get there. I think I'd just start in advertising, probably.
Right, okay. Why a screenwriter?
Well, I've always loved to write. When I was younger, I wanted to be an author. And then from there, I decided that I loved TV production and everything. And I think that there's more of a future in TV and film rather than
But
did you know there used to be a multimedia centre in Peel?
Yeah, I did.
Everybody must tell you that all the time.
All the time.
Because there was something of a TV and film industry on the island 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And the Peel Multimedia Centre was the start of lots of people's career. And it's no longer here. Do you think the government could do a bit more towards that?
Yeah, I think it was a good thing to have. And it provided like a little bit more diversity in jobs here, because there's not much creatively. And that would mean that there would be more opportunities, I guess, for this type of career, because here there's not really much I can do. I could go away, and obviously at uni there'll be more things for me to do. But in terms of coming back, I don't think there's any jobs available.
Okay. So is there anything that you did in your school curriculum leading towards screenwriting and film?
No, well, there was a little bit in creative writing included in English, and my English A-level is definitely my favourite, but I think it was more outside of school that I discovered the film aspect to it.
Do you read books?
Yeah.
What are you reading at the moment?
Wuthering Heights is part of my A-level.
Okay. Do you read? I mean, obviously at school you'll get books, but do you buy books yourself?
Yeah.
You do? Actual books? You don't get audio books or Kindle?
No, actual books. Yeah.
Actual books. Fantastic. Lauren's here as well now. Lauren, you're heading to uni, are you, Lauren?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. What to study?
Well, my first choice course is English Media and Cultural Studies, and then also I've applied to a few journalism courses at different unis. Yeah, so that's...
Journalism?
Yeah.
Okay. Does that interest you?
Yeah, I've always been like interested in English. It's always been like my favourite subject, and I'm doing English language A-level, which is like sort of you do a bit about it in that. So that's sort of where that came from, and sort of because I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I just made a decision.
Do you follow the news at all?
Not so much Manx news, more international.
Okay. Do you read a newspaper or do you get it online?
Online.
Okay. Have you ever bought a newspaper?
Not for myself. I definitely like get my news from mainly social media.
Okay. And which social media are you on?
Like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Okay. Do you post or do you just watch?
I more just watch. It's sort of just...
Do you ever post on Instagram at all?
Yeah, but nothing to do with that.
Oh, just social stuff?
Yeah.
Molly, are you on Instagram?
Yeah, I am.
How much time a day do you spend on Instagram, Molly?
Not a lot. I mean, sometimes when you go onto it, like, you get caught up in like the videos that are posted and you just kind of doom scroll through it, but... I wouldn't say it's a lot of time on it.
What social media are you on most? Is it Instagram or do you watch TikTok?
I'd say I'll be on TikTok the most.
What's the most TikTok videos you've ever watched in one go?
I don't know. Quite a lot, but I wouldn't say it's like extreme amount a lot.
What do you think about social media?
It's a bit...
Good thing, bad thing?
It can be a bit of both. Like, you can get like news, like Lauren said, from social media, but like... Some people that post on social media, it makes some people like feel uncomfortable, and sometimes it's a nice place, but sometimes it's not.
Well, I mean, what do you think about the stereotypes that are sometimes on?
I feel like people that are on Instagram, if they're famous on Instagram, like they are normal type of person, but like they're obviously being paid a lot to be.
Do you ever follow influencers?
I wouldn't say I follow like loads. I follow some, but...
Who do you follow? Can you remember?
I can't really remember any of them, but...
Grace, are you on social media?
I am on social media, yes.
Which ones?
I'm on Instagram mainly. Okay. I did have TikTok, but I deleted it because, as Molly said, you can get sucked into just watching the videos for hours on end, and I didn't like that because TikTok was particularly bad for that, so I had to get rid of it.
Okay, so you both live in Glenvine, is that right?
Yes.
How do you get to school?
We get the bus.
Do you get the bus? Do you have a bicycle at all?
I do have a bike.
Have you ever cycled into school?
I haven't cycled to school, no.
Do you cycle much?
I have to be honest, I don't cycle as much as I should, but...
How long have you had the bike?
Oh, I've had this bike for quite a long time now. I think I got it for when I was about 13 or 14, I would say.
Is it a road bike or a mountain bike?
It's a mountain bike.
Okay. And did you used to take it off-road?
Yeah, me and my dad would go up to like the plantations sometimes.
Yeah.
Just ride around, and we'd ride along the railway line.
Okay. Anybody else got a bicycle here? Does anybody else cycle to school? Jamie, do you cycle to school?
No, I'm pretty lazy. Since I passed my driving test, I don't think I've walked anywhere.
When did you pass your driving test?
Like last summer.
Okay. Could you tell us how many driving lessons you had?
A lot, like a year's worth probably.
20, 30, 40?
Like 30 to 40 range.
Right, okay. And do you remember how much it cost per lesson?
Like 40 or 45, I'm not 100% sure. I think it changed like at the end of when I was doing it. I'm pretty sure originally it was 40 and then it was 45 at the end.
Okay, and did you pass first time?
No, second time. First time was a bit of a nightmare.
Okay. Belle, you're taking driving lessons at the moment. How much are you paying?
I pay 50, but I have a free one at the end of each 3. So there's a block of 4 and then the last one's free.
Okay, how many lessons have you had?
I'm still going. I've been learning to drive for like a year and a half, coming on 2 years.
Have you got a test booked?
No, but I've already had 3.
Would you like to tell us more?
No, I think it's just I can't park and I can't get past it, and the cost is building up, so my parents are getting angry. But
I think they're getting concerned rather than angry. What is it about the test? It's parking.
And people always say to me that maybe I'm not passing because I'm too nervous, but I think I'm way too relaxed. I just go into the test and I drive around, and I know I can drive, and then you get to parallel parking and I just forget everything that I've ever learned, and it's just a recurring problem.
Belle, when's your next test?
Well, I've had to renew my provisional, so I've got to wait for that to come and then I'll book my next test.
Tisha, do you drive?
No, I don't drive, but I'm currently learning how to drive.
Okay. How many lessons have you taken?
I haven't taken any lessons. I'm just at the start of learning how to.
Right. I'm interested when you're talking about working in path labs and things like that. Where did that come from? Was it television? Was it anybody you know who was involved in it?
Well, I got the opportunity from a teacher that they referred me to the pathology lab in Nobles, and after that I just got really interested in it.
Did you go to the lab?
I did 3 sessions, and it was just kind of a walk around through all the different types of labs, so I got to see the different machines. I also got to do a few of the but like the practical side of it as well.
Such as what? What are the practicals?
So in hematology we did some blood smears and practicing how to do that. In microbiology we got to observe some of the pathogens and stuff that the people encounter on the daily.
Okay. Lauren, are you interested in politics at all? Did you watch the American election?
Yeah, I did.
What do you think of President Trump?
Don't like him.
Anything particular about him?
I just think that his following is sort of similar to a cult in a way. It
seems, half of America seems to adore the president.
Yeah, which I think is insane. And I think half of the people who support him don't really know his policies and what he stands for, because there's a lot they disagree with. You see people going and interviewing Trump supporters, and they bring up a specific policy and tell them this is one of Joe Biden's policies, and they react really negatively, and then the interviewer goes, that was actually something Trump said or one of his policies. Right. And I think that people need to be more politically aware of what they're voting for.
Okay, Olivia, did you take any notice of the American election?
I don't tend to be involved or watch any form of politics. I don't watch it regularly.
Do you watch any news at all?
I listen to it as it comes on the radio, or I don't go out of my way to watch them.
And you play hockey, don't you?
Yes.
Who for?
I play for the Peel local team, Valkyries.
Okay, and how's the season going for Valkyries?
It's good. Our team is progressing through the league. We have 3 women's teams, and I think there's about 3 or 4 men's teams, but all teams seem to be doing well.
And do you drive?
Yes, I do. I try not to drive as much to school because
you pass your test.
Yeah. Because I only actually live 15 minutes away, but I do drive.
So normally you try and walk, do you?
Yeah, I will try to walk as often as possible.
Right. Okay. What do you think about the R plate?
I feel like there's
Is it a good idea?
I think it is a good idea for the first bit, because you're obviously still learning what you're doing. When I passed my test, I passed throughout the summer, so when it came to winter, driving at night was something I had to learn as I went. So I think it's a good idea to have a year where you're still learning. But I think there's a lot of clouded views over being on R plates is a bad thing. Or a lot of people are directed more towards thinking people on R plates are bad drivers, but they are actually just still learning.
Okay, and do you think there's almost a prejudice against R plates?
Yeah, I do feel like there is. But again, it's just because they're making mistakes because they are unsure of the complete way to drive. So it then becomes a bit of, oh, well, our plates can't do this, can't do that, but it's not necessarily true.
Okay, do you have a weekend job?
Yes.
What do you do?
I work at the Western Swimming Pool in the cafe and reception.
Oh, how's that going there?
It's good. I just started in December, but I'm really liking it.
Okay, and Jamie, you're a lifeguard there, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Okay, how long have you been a lifeguard?
I think a year and a half now.
Have you saved anybody's life?
Not yet, no, but I think just my presence there does do a lot.
It's a very calming influence, I think,
yes.
Jamie. Okay, do you walk around, or do you have a big chair?
So we have multiple positions, and then we have more lifeguards on the shift than positions, and we'll rotate every 15 minutes between. Then every hour you get a 15-minute break, so you keep refreshed.
In all seriousness, though, it's an important role.
Yeah, definitely.
And you have to keep your wits about you.
Yeah, we do training every month to make sure we're on top of our game.
And who does that?
So the bosses do it normally. They run it. We'll do 2 hours every month.
How important do you think it is for children to learn to swim?
Oh, very important, definitely. Because then they get in the pool with their friends, and then if they can't swim, it's not great.
And we're an island as well. We're surrounded by sea.
Yeah, definitely.
So at what age do you think children should go in the water?
I'm not 100% sure what age they start lessons, to be honest. I think they're pretty good for it now.
I think they start around 2.
I think just carry on lessons until you're capable of swimming.
Well, they don't do lessons at 2, but they're familiar. They can go in with their parents and carers.
There you go.
So you get used to it. Do you sea swim at all?
No, definitely not. No.
What do you think? There's a big trend towards sea swimming, early morning sea swims.
No, that's not me. I prefer to have a lie-in.
Okay. We're back in just a few moments' time at QE2 in Peel.
I used to make waves. Now I ride them.
I used to ask why. Now, why not?
Well, I used to set goals. Now I'm set for life.
With no monthly fee, dedicated support and plenty of global perks, elevate your everyday with HSBC Premier. HSBC, opening up a world of opportunity. See website for details. T's and C's apply. HSBC Bank plc in the Isle of Man is a participant in the Isle of Man Depositors Compensation Scheme, as set out in the Depositors Compensation Scheme Regulations 2010.
Every day, Manx Petroleum is fueling the heartbeat of our island. Going with the flow, we keep homes warm and businesses running. 100% Manx owned and the largest family-run distributor, our customer services are at the heart of your community. And as the island's only provider of oil deliveries, boilers and tank installation services altogether, there's no need to shop around. Manx Petroleum, always here for you, because this island is our home too. Visit mp.im.
A new bed? What a great idea! Especially when Miller Chaps have such a superb range. From traditional springs with Hypnos luxury wool and natural fillings to latex and the famous Temper mattress. Choose from bed frames and storage divans of all types. With friendly staff happy to explain the range, special offers throughout and time to lie down and actually try the mattresses. When it's time for a good night's sleep, it's time to visit Miller Chaps of Ramsey.
Tomorrow is World Book Day, and here at Manx Radio we're inviting you to get creative for your chance to win. We want to see you dressed up as your favourite book character. Whether it's from a novel, comic or fairy tale, this is your opportunity to bring your favourite character to life. All you need to do is share a photo of you and your costume on our pinned Facebook post, which will go live tomorrow morning. And you have until 8 o'clock on Friday evening to share your photo. Get posting and you could be one of 2 lucky listeners to win a £25 book voucher. We'll announce the winners on Monday morning at 8:30. So get ready to celebrate World Book Day here on Manx Radio.
This is the Mannin Line on location.
We're at QE2 with Year 13 students through till 1 o'clock on Manx Radio as we go around all the high schools every year to talk to tomorrow's taxpayers. They are today's voters, but they will be tomorrow's taxpayers. And Grace is here. So what is there to do in Glenvine at night, by the way?
In Glenvine at night time...
Stop laughing, Molly.
There really isn't a lot to do. I mean, going out for a walk...
Co-op?
You can walk to the co-op, but I sometimes in the summer might go out for a walk of an evening. But other than that, in specifically Glenvine.
And in Peel?
In Peel, Peel's quite nice to visit. I come in the weekends and I come to get an ice cream or walk on the prom, go to the charity shop.
Right.
And that's quite nice, but if you come over sort of late afternoon, sort of 4 o'clock, after that point, it really isn't a lot to do in like the winter time. But in the summer, obviously you can enjoy the beach and walk around the castle.
So I sense you're looking for more. What would you like to see in Peel?
Well, in Peel, I'm not so sure in Peel because if I were to go out of an afternoon with my friends, I probably wouldn't choose to come to Peel.
Where would you go?
I would probably go out to Douglas because there is quite a few things to do in Douglas, and I do also enjoy going to other parts of the island, like going down to Port Erin and Ramsey and different places, but I feel like there could be more to do, but I've found stuff I enjoy doing.
So what's your idea of a good day out with your friends in Douglas?
In Douglas, going to Douglas, you can go down to Strand Street, obviously, but other than that, I'll be honest, I don't go out into Douglas all too much. But
when you go to university, you'll be surrounded by things to do, won't you?
Yes.
So, I mean, at the moment, it's a common complaint on the Isle of Man that there's not much to do, particularly for 17 and 18-year-olds, particularly 17-year-olds, because you can't go in a pub properly. Yeah. So, and you're between youth clubs and pubs. So, do you ever go to the Centenary Centre in Peel? Do you go...
I don't tend to, because I found that I enjoy going to the climbing wall in Douglas, because I can go there straight.
The climbing wall?
The climbing wall, yeah.
Where's that?
It's down near the Pulrose Power Station. It's opposite down the road there, down near where Douglas Tip used to be.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And I enjoy going down there because you can go down. It's open from 4 till 9 most days.
And you climb?
I do, yeah. I find it... I needed to get into a sport because I hadn't been doing enough exercise, I don't think. But then I got into that over the summer. And I really
Whose idea was that?
Well, I used to go down with my dad when I was younger, and then I was kind of doing it every couple of months, but now I'm trying to get into going down at least a couple times a week or once a week.
Wow, and you enjoy that?
I do, I really enjoy it.
Fantastic. Anybody got any ideas about is there much to do in Peel? Everybody's looking at me gone out. Belle, you work in Peel?
Yes. I work at a Chinese restaurant. It's called Jade Harbour and it's just on the front.
Right. Okay. How's business at the moment?
It's not good. It's better in TT. It's really busy in TT, but we're struggling with people not going out as much. And although there's quite a lot of food places in Peel, I don't think that any of them are really reaching like their max business because prices are going up and things are closing earlier because of it.
Yeah, I've noticed that things do close quite early. What time does the restaurant close?
We don't ever have a set closing time. It closes when we kind of feel like we're not profiting from keeping open.
So if people are there, you'll stay open?
Yeah, the kitchen closes at 10:30.
Right.
But obviously tables will stay much longer.
So, I mean, I don't want you to speak on behalf of the owner, but the impression you get is that more people should be out eating.
Yeah.
That's what he thinks as well, presumably. Yeah.
That's what he'd like.
Yeah. I mean, how many places are there to eat in Peel? Half a dozen?
Yeah, I'd say so. There's 2 Indian restaurants.
Yeah. The Creek.
There's quite a few pubs that do food, and then you've got the Black Dog Oven as well.
Yeah, okay. Is there much to do in Peel? Whereabouts do you live, by the way?
I live just outside of Peel in Cronky, but right. Peel's definitely where I'd go out. And there's nothing to really do, I'd say, but it's what you make of it. Obviously, in the summer, it's really nice because the beach is so nice and there's the castle. So you can always go swimming, but in winter months, there's really nothing to do.
So you're looking forward to TT?
Yes.
Have you worked at the Chinese restaurant in TT?
Yeah.
Is it busy?
It's very busy.
Okay. Good tips?
Good tips,
The TT fans give good tips, do they?
Yeah,
good.
I think so.
Good. Olivia, so do you get out and about in Peel?
Yeah.
Sorry, just Chris is having a coughing fit. It's nothing personal.
Yeah, if I was to go out, obviously I live in Peel, so I would choose to then go out in Peel. And like Belle said, in the summer it's really nice. There's the AstroTurf just down from the headlands that everyone kind of meets at. So there's a place for people to play football or going to the beach.
What do you think they should be doing at the end of Marine Parade? There's all sorts of ideas about what should be there.
Where the skate park was previously.
Did you use the skate park?
No, not personally.
Did anybody use the skate park?
I have 2 younger brothers and they'd go down and they'd use it, or when we were passing by they'd go on their bikes or their scooters. But I think it's younger children that would use it more.
So in terms of Peel, is there much to do in Peel?
I wouldn't say that there's a lot to do, but it's not just Peel. I feel like island-wide, it gets a bit repetitive after a while. If you look up things to do in half terms, it's things like the Manx Museum or the House of Mannin, and you can only go so many times and it becomes a bit repetitive.
So you're heading to where did you say? Salford, is it?
Yes, hopefully.
So, I mean, an awful lot to do in Manchester and Salford.
Yeah.
You looking forward to a social life there?
Yeah, really looking forward to it.
Okay. And in all honesty, do you think you're going to come back to the Isle of Man?
I feel like there is opportunities here, but I would like to travel and find somewhere a bit different, a bit broader of a range.
Well, there are only so many babies born on the Isle of Man, so professionally it may limit you.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, okay. And Tisha, do you have a job at the weekend, Tisha?
I do. I work on the same strip as Belle, but I'm in Indian Kitchen by Flavours, the Indian restaurant.
In Peel?
Yes.
Okay. How's business there then?
It's been up and down. We had a busy weekend this weekend, but after TT it sort of kind of faltered towards.
Are you a TT fan?
Not.
Are you a motorsport fan?
No, not really. But I do like what it brings to the Isle of Man. It's nice to see loads of people here. It being a bit louder than usual. So.
Okay, George, are you a TT fan at all?
No.
Motorsport fan at all?
No, not really. I like going out and watching it, but that's mainly for the day out rather than the bikes.
Yeah. Okay. And where do you work? Don't you at the weekends?
Yeah. At Barbary West Coast.
Barbary West Coast. And again, how's business?
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not. Yeah.
Have you done a TT there?
Yeah, I did last TT there.
And what was that like?
Very busy. Longer nights. A lot more people. A lot more going on.
Yeah. Yeah, good. Okay, well, here we are live at QE2. I just want to ask, we're going back to... Sorry, George, do you drive?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you passed your test?
Yeah.
You have. There's a rule now, there's something coming through whereby it's going to be 20 miles per hour in built-up areas. They're going to put 20-mile-an-hour speed limits in housing estates and places like that. Where normally it's 30, they're going to take it down to 20 miles an hour. How do you feel about that?
I didn't know, to be honest.
Yeah, it's basically, there's a thing called 20 is plenty. It's a political thing whereby, and they're just saying people drive too quickly through housing estates. I'm not saying you do, but have you observed any sort of problem with that?
Not that I can remember. I think it's all been sound at what I've seen.
Okay, Jamie, how do you feel about that, 20 miles per hour in housing estates?
I'm not 100% sure what,
in built-up areas, lots of places are going to be 20 miles. There's going to be a 20 miles per hour limit, so you can't go above 20 miles per hour.
I don't have huge opinions on it. I don't really see what the issue is with 30, but I'm not going to complain.
Okay. Let's go to... Lauren, that was it. I was going to ask you, Lauren, about things to do in Peel. You live in Peel?
No, I live in Glenvine.
On the Glenvine contingent again. So is Costa Coffee very important to Glenvine?
I don't go
Not important to
much. No, I think a lot of people do go there to meet with their friends and stuff, but in general, I feel like before that was there and the co-op was there, there was literally nothing at all in the area to do apart from the pub. But yeah.
So whereabouts are you going to university?
Hopefully Liverpool.
Okay. Will you come back to the Isle of Man?
I think it really depends on if I've 100% decided on what I want to do, because I'm still not really 100% sure. It took me a while to decide what I wanted to do at uni, and I think I will come back, but I might move away again after. I think going to uni is going to be a good change, because I think I'll prefer the city atmosphere than what it is here. I think it'll be a nice change, and I don't know, we'll see how I
mean, lots of people, it goes two ways. Some people can't wait to get off the Isle of Man and never want to come back, and some people leave, go, and within the first term come back because they get spooked. All those people, and the people they don't recognise every day, whereas on the Isle of Man you see people that you know all the time. You don't envisage any sort of problem with that?
Not at the moment. I think I will miss it, but I think it'll be a nice difference to see what I prefer, because it's just so quiet here. It's not a busy atmosphere at all, and I think the change will be nice.
Okay, all right, we'll take a break. Going to be back in a moment at QE2 in Peel.
Bright headlights on the road can hold you back. Holmes & Davidson Opticians present an advanced solution, our cutting-edge road lens coating. Significantly reducing glare, clarity is enhanced, driving confidence elevated. Experience safer and more confident vision. Trust Holmes & Davidson Opticians to keep you safer on the roads. Book your consultation today at holmesanddavidsonopticians.co.uk or call 676 230.
Back pain, neck pain, headaches, joint pain. At Align for Life Spine and Posture Clinic, we've been helping Manx residents for 15 years with our holistic, evidence-based care and therapies. Plus, we're now open Saturdays to make it even easier to see us. Visit our brand new website at alignforlife.com or find us on Facebook for opening hours and more information. Align for Life, 15 years serving the community of the Isle of Man.
Plummaster, where plumbers shop. For supplies, we've got the lot. Ramsey Douglas, come on down. Plummaster, the best around. Gas boilers, pipes and taps. Bathroom fittings, stylish rads. Plummaster have all in store and deliver to your door.
For trade and DIY plumbing supplies, visit Plummaster at Haldane Fisher in Douglas and Ramsey. Plummaster, your local, reliable, competitive plumbing supplier.
It's another Radio Caroline North broadcast this weekend, live from the radio ship Ross Revenge. Enter our competition this month and you could win one of 3 Pure Land Connect Plus all-in-one internet radios, also featuring Bluetooth, DAB+, and FM. Our broadcast sponsor is Turton Tower Woodland Cafe, and it all starts this Saturday morning at 10, straight after Carnaby Street. Online, on DAB and 1368 AM. Radio Caroline North.
This is the Mannin Line on location.
Here we are with the students at QE2 in Peel, and Grace, I was just talking about what older people don't quite understand about younger people.
Well, I feel like there can be sort of a stereotype that we can all be quite antisocial and not very nice, and I'm not saying we're all lovely. I'm sure there are some people that aren't nice, but not all of us are horrible and antisocial.
When you say antisocial, do you mean just not talking, or? I
mean it in the sense like when people go out and they're just not being very nice to people around them, not respecting other people in the area, like being really noisy or just causing like a really big disturbance to... Yeah,
I mean, on your behalf, I can say that's happened for the past 70 years. There was a phenomenon in the 1950s called juvenile delinquency, when suddenly teenagers, the term teenager came about in the 1950s. So it's always, I mean, that's always happened. Do you get on and off the island much?
I do get on and off the island occasionally. Okay,
and what do you think of the price of getting on and off the Isle of Man?
Oh, I think it is really, really quite expensive now, thinking about going to and from uni, especially.
Would you go to and from as a foot passenger or take a vehicle?
I haven't passed my driving test yet, so I will probably be, if I'm coming back I'll be a foot passenger or I'll be on the plane.
Okay. Lauren, what do you think about the price of getting to and from the island?
I think it's really bad. The prices...
How much do you think it should be then for, say, a foot passenger? What is it now? 40 odd pounds as a foot passenger?
I think it should be like 25 quid maximum, really, because it's a bit ridiculous to have to pay so much just to get off of the island. I think, yeah. Well,
we own the boat, you know that. I mean, the boat's owned by the taxpayer here, although there's an arm's length company that runs it.
Yeah.
So do you think there should be a rate for residents of the Isle of Man to get to and from?
Yeah, I think, because the prices around TT week, it goes up so much. I'm going to a concert the week and in practice week, and it got rescheduled. It was supposed to be earlier, so I've had to go on and try to book the boat for that.
Who are you going to see?
It's a band called Inhaler.
Whereabouts is it?
Manchester.
Anybody else Inhaler fans here? Nobody? What sort of music is it, Lauren?
It's like indie rock, yeah. But yeah, I was looking at the boat for that, and it's so expensive. So
are you going?
I haven't booked it yet, but I'm going to, because I really want to go to the concert.
We'll all look for Inhaler now. We'll all follow. Tisha, how do you feel about getting on and off the island?
Well, I can say it can be quite difficult, especially in the winter months. But for say, like, I'm going to Philippines in July because my mother hasn't been in the past, I think it's been 16 years.
Right.
And I haven't been in 6 years. And we're like looking at the prices of not just going from the Isle of Man to England, but also going internationally. And we're going to have to plan around like possible cancellations because there's been a few recently, and like having to plan around that and also how high the prices are, it's been a bit difficult.
How long will you be over in the Philippines?
Hopefully, I think we're going from July 2nd until the 25th, so it's going to be quite a long trip.
You're looking forward to going there?
Yes, I'm looking forward so much. I miss my family.
If the people who've never been there, I've never been there, what's the weather like there?
Oh, very hot, unless it's the rainy season, but very hot, clear usually, but with the city and stuff, you get like often smells of like city and gasoline and stuff, so it's not, but it's really good. I really like it.
And cuisine?
Cuisine, very good, we're known for good cuisine, a mix of like different types. So we have like Asian cuisine, but also also we have mix of like Spanish sometimes because of the history. But I would recommend Filipino food for anyone who hasn't
tried. Has there ever been a Filipino restaurant on the Isle of Man?
Yes, I think there was one that recently opened called Casalo in Books Road, I think.
Books Road, yeah.
Yeah, that one's newly opened. My parents, I think my mum tried it and she enjoyed it. So, but it would be nice to see more like ethnic food, and especially Filipino food. I enjoy.
Okay, Jamie, does the price of getting on and off the Isle of Man affect you?
I personally don't pay. I go off quite a lot to watch football and stuff. I think what's worse about it is the amount that they cancel it and just they're a bit naff. They take tea breaks every hour at the airport, and the flights can't land or go. I think it's a bit
Jamie,
poor.
They're not tea breaks; they're fatigue breaks. It sounds like it's fatigue breaks.
I'm going to pretend I didn't say that.
I know,
now.
yes.
Even still, I think a break every hour to stop the flights coming and going is
When you
poor.
say you go and watch football, who do you go and watch?
I watch Man City. I have season tickets, so we try and get across as much as possible.
What has happened to Manchester City?
Nothing good.
I mean, who saw that coming?
Certainly not me. No, I thought we were going to go on 5 in a row, but injuries, I can't blame it all on that, but I think we'll be back next year.
You think so? Do you think Guardiola's going to stay?
Oh, yeah. I think he'll like the challenge, rebuilding it all. I think he's end of an era now. Lots of old players need to go, new players come in. I think it's a whole new challenge.
Who's going to go?
Hopefully Gundogan. Sorry, a few of the old players, Kovacic maybe, Gundogan, Bernardo, Kevin De Bruyne. Obviously that'll be a huge miss.
De Bruyne, do you think?
Well, the contract's up in it, so I think he might end up going.
Where would he go? Don't say United.
No, Saudi Arabia or America, somewhere like that to retire.
Who's going to win the Premiership, the Premier League this year?
Liverpool.
Really?
No doubt, yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Who's going to win the FA Cup?
City.
Who's going to win the Premiership, George? The Premier League?
Liverpool, sadly.
And you say sadly because?
I'm an Everton fan.
Okay. Are you looking forward to going to the new stadium?
Yeah, big time.
Did you get to Goodison much?
Yeah, I've been quite a few times. Over my life, I've been quite a lot.
Okay, and do you think Moyes is the man?
For now, certainly is, yeah. He's changed it around quite well. So, absolutely flying at the minute, 7 games unbeaten.
Who would have thought that, eh?
No, well, not me. I was getting ready to go down, get relegated, but...
With a brand new stadium?
I know, it wasn't looking good, but he's done very well since he come in.
Okay. We've always talked about VAR to students. What do you think about VAR?
I think it's good to an extent. I think over the weekend there was a check though that took 8 minutes, and it just kind of kills the game. And then especially when every goal that gets scored, they're going to look through it, and then you kind of have to wait to celebrate before you can actually know that it's going to get given.
Do you think they should put a limit on the time that VAR takes?
Yeah, I think some of the checks have just taken far too long, especially recently. It just kind of kills the game. VAR appeal, though? No, not at all. Nothing like that appeal.
What's the standard of refereeing like?
On the island?
Yeah. You can be diplomatic if you want.
Yeah, everyone's always going to disagree, aren't they, with what the ref gives, because they're always going to give something against one of the teams. So someone's going to disagree, someone's going to be offended by it.
Okay. Olivia, who do you think is going to win the Premier League, Olivia?
I don't really keep up with football
You're
much.
not a football fan, are
No,
you? You're not
I'm
a
not.
football fan. Do you have grandparents, Olivia?
Yes.
Do you talk to your grandparents much?
Yeah, I talk to them weekly. They do live on island, but we still FaceTime each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you talk to your grandparents about? And what sort of advice do they give you? Do you enjoy talking to your grandparents?
Yeah, I do. I get along with my grandparents quite well, so it's just general chat about day-to-day kind of things. And they do give good advice, so if I'm in a situation of I'm a bit confused or upset, they can help me through it.
What sort of things?
Well, recently with uni applications and exams and everything, it's been quite stressful. So they're always there as like a comforting advice, I guess.
Okay. George, have you got grandparents?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, do you chat to your grandparents at all?
Yeah, I see them quite a lot. See probably both sets at least once a week.
Okay, and I mean, do you get advice from older people, from grandparents? Or is it just general chit-chat?
I normally just chat to them. Not really advice as such. I just go and speak to them about life or whatever's going on.
Okay. Belle, do you speak to grandparents at all?
Yeah, my grandparents don't live here, but I call them quite often, and we try and see them as much as we can.
Okay. And again, do you get advice from them at all, or is it just chit-chat?
I get a lot of advice from my granddad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Such as what?
Well, it's mainly about school. He's a teacher, and so he's really good. Oh, he's a physics teacher, and my subjects are all English related. But he's very good with things about how to revise and what matters in exams and stuff.
And did any of the advice work for exams?
Yeah. I think a lot of it did. Also, my aunties and uncles, they're all teachers, so in my GCSEs, I had a lot of help off them for
They're all
different
teachers?
subjects. Well, a lot of them are, yeah.
Oh, my word. Let's go to Molly as well. Molly, have you got grandparents?
Yeah, I do.
And do you talk to your grandparents?
Yeah, quite often, yeah.
Any advice, is it, or is it just family stuff that you...
It's normally just family stuff, really.
Okay.
Chit-chat.
It's just that some people find it easier to talk to grandparents than parents often. You not found that?
Yeah, sometimes, but I think because I live with my parents, I talk to them more about getting advice. So.
Yeah, good. Okay. Grace, I was just going to ask you, you were on which social media, did you say?
Instagram, mainly.
Instagram. Can anybody... Are you posting at all?
Not very often, but occasionally I might post pictures if I've been on holiday somewhere or...
Okay. So in 3 years' time, you could be finishing university. What would you be looking forward to?
I'd finish in uni. I'd be quite excited to find a job in what I want to do. I'd also be quite excited to be an adult and have quite a lot of freedom, and then I'll have experience living in the UK maybe.
And money?
Money, that would be nice to get a nice job to pay, and then so I can go and experience and travel a little bit and see the world.
Okay. Today, that's it. Oh, thanks to Stephen Slack and everybody at QE2, and Matty Cunningham and Chris Quirk. I'm Andy Wint. We've been live with the students at QE2.